This is Dr. Eames. I am one of the physicians helping to oversee your care in the Warrior Medicine Clinic. I have been asked to provide this brief, but before I get started, I would like to remind you to please write your unit information on the top of the forms we have given you. You will be given time to fill out the rest of the form at the end of this brief. As part of the Air Force's coordinated assault on the COVID-19 pandemic, we at the 8th Medical Group have been assigned to brief you on the new coronavirus vaccine being distributed by the military. We have now been given and are ready to give the new one-dose vaccine against COVID-19 produced by Johnson & Johnson. Today I will be providing you with information on how this vaccine works, its effectiveness, and what to expect after taking it. I would like to begin by showing you this video that I put together on how the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine works. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine works in a way that is similar to the two other COVID vaccines that have been in circulation until now. Early on, scientists recognized that the spike protein found on the surface of the coronavirus would be a good target because it can be found on the wide range of strains that have been identified around the world. The developers of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, like with most of the COVID vaccines being produced, isolated the genetic code for this spike protein. They then inserted it into an adenovirus vector, which in turn transports this code into the cells in your body. The cells then use this genetic information to make copies of the spike protein. Your body can then develop an immune response that can be used to quickly destroy the virus if you are ever exposed to it. Like the other COVID vaccines, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine essentially helps your body to create its own vaccine, which is why they were able to produce such a safe and effective vaccine in such a short time. This vaccine is, without a doubt, the most thoroughly and effectively studied vaccine available. As you may know, double-blinded random controlled trials are considered the gold standard in scientific research. The developers of this vaccine put together a massive double-blinded random controlled trial with 40,000 participants across 8 countries. The advantage of such a large study is that they were able to see how this vaccine held up against a wide range of known COVID strains, including the more virulent strains found in both South Africa and Brazil. Additionally, the broad range of races, ethnicities, and ages included in this studies give scientists a good gauge of how effective this vaccine will be for the population as a whole. This massive study proved that this vaccine is both safe and effective. You will likely encounter a range of reported efficacies for this vaccine, but that is because it was tested in so many populations and locations. The important takeaway is that all the values in this range are at or above the efficacies of the vaccines that we have been using until now. More importantly, this vaccine has proven to be very effective in protecting against severe disease, even in South Africa and Brazil, where the most virulent known strains predominate. The side effects associated with this vaccine are typical for what we see with most vaccines. This vaccine in general tends to be a bit better tolerated than many of the other COVID-19 vaccines because it is given in a single dose. Common side effects include pain at the injection site, muscle pain, and joint pain. Occasionally people experience cold-like symptoms and even fever or chills. Most side effects subside on their own within a couple of days. Remember, in order for a vaccine to work, your immune system has to be activated. This is what triggers these symptoms, so if you do experience mild to moderate symptoms, you should see it as proof that the vaccine is having the appropriate effect. If the vaccine is causing significant discomfort, especially that would interfere with your sleep, please don't hesitate to take Tylenol or ibuprofen. These are effective for managing most of the side effects. As always, if you are ever experiencing any severe symptoms, please head directly to the emergency department or call emergency services at 063-470-0911 or just 911 from any DSN phone. You have likely recently heard on the news about a reported reaction called vaccine-associated immune thrombotic thrombocytopenia. This is a unique phenomenon in which a person's immune system seems to create a reaction to vaccines that causes blood clots to form in an unusual way and in atypical locations. This is what triggered the safety signal and pause, so that further investigation could be performed. Ultimately, this pause revealed that this reaction is extremely rare. In fact, it's close to the same probability as being struck by lightning. It proved that this vaccine remains safe for use by the general public, and no restriction in its distribution was recommended. Most importantly, this pause helped ensure that, should this very rare reaction occur, doctors are better prepared to both identify and manage it. If you have concerns about this or other possible reactions, please don't hesitate to schedule an appointment to discuss them with one of us doctors at the Med Group. There are just a couple of restrictions to be aware of with the COVID-19 vaccines right now. First off, you should not take any other vaccine within 14 days of the COVID-19 vaccine. The Air Force is aware that this means many service members will go red in their IMRs, so please don't let that be a concern or a factor for you. For all you DD-2992 holders, getting vaccinated will take you out of flying status for just 48 hours. After that, you can go back to flying no problem. There are no associated restrictions with this vaccine for PCS, TDY, or leave, especially because it is just one dose. I would like to take a moment to touch on the important benefits of being vaccinated against COVID-19. Most importantly, getting vaccinated protects you and your loved ones from this pandemic. Most of our population is young and healthy here at Kunsan, so the chances of having a fatal infection is much lower. But remember, carrying COVID puts those around us at risk, including those we care about. It's also important to remember that, though it's rare, young healthy people can develop severe symptoms too. Even outside of severe disease, I have seen healthy people dealing with long-lasting respiratory difficulty after COVID infections. Next, here at Kunsan, due to mission limitations, we are not yet able to loosen restrictions for people who have been vaccinated. However, more and more around the world we are seeing decreased restrictions for people who are vaccinated. This includes increased flexibility with travel and even quarantine exemptions. And I expect to see more such changes in the months to come. Lastly, it's important for us to remember and realize that the only effective weapon against COVID-19 that is in our arsenal is vaccination. For the time being, this full-scale assault on the COVID-19 pandemic is voluntary, and it is up to you to decide whether or not to be vaccinated based on your own personal goals and values. It is our purpose to ensure that you have been given the information that you need to help you make this decision. We are required to keep records to show that we've given everyone the chance to be vaccinated, which is why we will be asking you to fill out those forms we gave you. Remember, if you decide to decline now, you can always change your mind and come back later if we have the vaccine available. This concludes the brief on the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine.